Sup, it's your boy Big Reg coming to you to celebrate the national championship victory for the Michigan Wolverines. Team 144 has done it, folks. Has done it. Has ended our long-running nightmare that spanned all these years. Since 1997, we've been waiting to say these words again. Michigan Wolverines, national champions. I raise my glass to Team 144, all the fine young men that are part of that squad, Jim Harbaugh, and the rest of the fine coaching staff. Raise my glass to you, gentlemen. Go Blue.
Go Blue. Bye, 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 bye.
Joining me tonight to revel and reminisce about this marvelous, overjoyous occasion. First, the latest internet sensation for Michigan Wolverine Nation, the one, the only ugly sweatshirt guy, producer Jay Bizzle.
Yes, I am that person. I am the ugly sweater guy.
Let me ask you this. Has it upped your desert heat check at all?
A couple of people talked to me on the plane ride back. One elderly woman with her husband.
We are approaching that age, you know.
And another Washington fan. Thank you.
Oh my gosh! So one old lady and then some dude. Okay, well, better than that.
Oh yeah, and a bunch of frat boys at the bar that we were celebrating afterwards.
Oh my gosh! So just basically more sizzle to the sausage fest, but holy smokes, desert heat check fizzled out already. Well, we thank you for that report. Next, joining us, this was the only member of the crew that did not come to Houston to witness history live, happening in front of our very own eyes. It's the one, the only, the man who stayed bunkered down in his man cave, JC from Sunnyside.
Bunker down, but ultra emotional. I got a lot to say, but the only thing I want to do right now is just want to pull it down. just pull it down.
Oh my goodness, he was getting a little verklempt during the game there, huh? A little emotional, huh? A little choked. It's understandable, folks. It's understandable. If you knew how much pain and sorrow the Michigan Wolverines football program has put us since the last championship in 1997, you know the pain. You know the sorrow. You know the hardship.
No, not many people know what Harbaugh means by just pull it down, but I totally get it. It's just pull it down. Just pull it down.
This guy, holy smokes. He'll get into it later in depth, people, just like he went into the meaning of the word bet for all those who did not know. Next, joining us, this man, I don't know what he's feeling right now. I don't know what he's going to say. Who knows? But you know what he said in the past about Jim Harbaugh and this program. But now that Jim Harbaugh and this program has reached the pinnacle of success when it comes to college football, we're all on pins and needles waiting to see and hear what comes from Mr. Squarehead.
I just want to say that I made it there, back home, but I got some disappointments I'd like to share throughout this episode.
Your only disappointments better be about the weather and how Southwest treated you. That's it. That's it. That better be the only disappointments. Holy smokes!
But I want to make sure. Audio check. Can you guys hear me all right? Because I want my complaints to come through loud and clear.
No,
you're the microphone.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. So just realize that this episode, of course,
cutting in and out.
Huh?
Cutting in and out.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. You're cutting in and out. Anyway. This episode is brought to you by Four Roses Bourbon, which, of course, was supplied by the one and only Frank and Esther. Shout out to them. Holy smokes, folks. If you want to celebrate in style and great taste, Four Roses Bourbon.
Sounds like you've been celebrating already, sir.
Oh, I've been celebrating the whole week. Part of the celebration has been scouring the internet for any ad that leads me to Michigan National Championship swag. My entire social media feed is now filled with ads for anything because I'm the sucker that clicks on everything right now. I'm buying Fruit Loops. I'm buying Coca-Cola bottles. I'm buying hats. I'm buying sweatshirts. I bought a couple t-shirts. Now I'm looking for a couple game balls and a couple game jerseys. So if you got any leads, send them over to you, boy.
Also, send me the hat that says champs on. I can't find it anymore.
There you go. That's another one. We're trying to get a little mitts on. Holy smokes, folks. Because that's the exuberance and the joy that this championship has brought forward. I can't tell you enough how much excitement and just sheer joyous explosion was coming out from the stadium whenever a big play happened. And we might as well start with the national anthem that was sung by Fantasia. It was great seeing her again, hometown girl, coming back to Houston to start us off with the national anthem. Man, oh man, was it a great sight to behold. But holy smokes. How can we start? Why don't we just go quarter to quarter? Does that sound okay?
Yes.
Yeah, might as well. And folks, you didn't have to wait long for the fireworks to start popping off. Because that first drive, it started, I think, at like the 15 or so. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Samaj.
This guy, why do you got to say it like that? Samaj. This guy, come on.
Trying to be hero. Trying to be a hero, Kickoff.
Couldn't let it go.
Couldn't let it go. He's trying, so like I said, there's something a little loose about him, Freshman.
Yeah, we could have been starting off a little bit better, but you know what? We started off, and then the first drive, JJ was throwing some nice passes into tight situations, especially to Cornelius Johnson on like second and longs and third and longs that kept that first drive going. So even though we might have fallen a little bit behind schedule every now and then on that first drive, the fact that JJ made a couple big throws in a couple tight spots kept that first drive going. But we all know what was the cherry on top when it came to that first drive. The man himself, the much maligned all season, but now crowned in glory as a national champion. The one, the only, Donovan Edwards.
I want to call out JC from Sunnyside, who has been a constant doubting Thomas, should I say, of our boy Donovan Edwards. Now, I also admit I've been disappointed by his play this year, especially leading off at the end of last year, where he was our boy. He was the victor who brought us OSU victory. But this year it has just been nonstop hatred, vitriol hatred from JC from Sunnyside. So I want to hear from your mouth what you're going to say to Donovan Edwards right now.
So I think his maturity has evolved a little bit. But if you look at that first touchdown run, let's be clear. He ran right into the gut of like 3 defensive tackles, and he got lucky to kind of bounce off and not get touched. And he once he gets going, he can accelerate. He's got burst. He's got speed. So he took it to the house. Great touchdown. But it also says something about the Washington Huskies linebackers. I mean, they are not even average. They're maybe 1-star players because they just get gobbled up. But I'm glad that Dono got that touchdown. The other touchdown run was impressive. Again, the burst of speed, he didn't get touched. He's not a between the tackles guy, but I'm glad that he got those 2 runs and 2 touchdowns because I think that'll maybe put him on over the edge of going to the NFL or thinking that he can make it in the NFL so that we can have Mullings and that freshman coming in start next year.
Wow. So he's just happy that Donovan Edwards is going to move on to the next level, so he leaves. I still have not heard an apology from JC from Sunnyside.
Hey. Come on. Apology. I'm completely on board here. There's a key word that JC used, but that could have turned into a what's his name? Mark Sanchez Jets butt fumble, because he literally ran straight into the butt of our offensive line that was blocking for him. He bounced back a step or two, and then he cut it out to the left with his burst of speed. That wasn't some magnificent run like Corum does with his jump cuts. Like JC said, it was a pretty lucky run where he bounced off someone's butt and then broke it out to the left.
I mean,
That
what
second
kind of
touchdown.
vision? What
That
kind of
second-
vision does this guy have? Running into three offensive linemen, just running right into them. They got lucky to bounce it off to the left.
That second touchdown, we were there. As that play was happening, we saw, I mean, it was literally the parting of the Red Sea. And if he couldn't hit that hole and outrun with his speed, come on, man. Don't make it sound like he had some like Barry Sanders-esque run for 45-yard touchdowns.
Oh
Those
my
are just
God.
straight ahead speed runs.
And I think it's more credit to Sharon Moore and the offensive lineman and the tight end blocking than more Dono. I mean, Dono hit the hole. He had a burst of speed, but that was a wide open hole. All I had to do was cut right, cut up, and then that's it.
Okay. Just pump the brakes on the hate train for just a second, okay? Okay? Can we pull the emergency cord right now to stop the hate train? Holy smokes. I'll just listen. When I first saw that play developing, I saw every single Dono run from this year, which was like you guys said. He'd run into a crowd, disappear, and then he'd get tackled for like maybe 2 yards, maybe 3 at most. And I thought, okay, that's with that. But then somehow, like you said, he was able to avoid getting tackled. He took a step back, then made the jump cut because he saw the space.
He took a step back.
He saw the space. He could have just put his head back down and went back, but he didn't.
Oh.
He saw the space and he hit the hole and he went full speed ahead.
Come on, man.
Him running, holy smokes. He came right to us because we were in that corner of the end zone that he came to.
He did.
And you cannot, Squarehead, I saw you with my own eyes because you was right next to me, okay? You was the first one that jumped up for joy. Pure joy, elation.
No.
Elation.
Dude,
when you saw Donovan Edwards busting out that run for a touchdown, we all jumped up. We all started high-fiving.
Yo.
Holy smokes. We almost passed out, you and I.
Yeah.
You and I. We jumped up so quick.
I jumped up so fast that I almost passed out. Come on.
The blood escaped from our head. That's how fast we jumped up because we were so excited.
We did.
Me and Squarehead were like this, and we almost passed out.
We did.
So hearing you now trying to revisionist history this thing, no, sir. No,
I won't deny it. I almost passed out like 10 times during that game.
Because you jumped up so fast.
But you make it sound like Dono was like, oh, and he like took 2 steps back to reevaluate the situation.
He did.
Come on,
in
man.
That split second, he could have done what he did, like I said, all season, but he didn't. He made a different move this time. He saw the hole and he hit it with all his might and all his strength and all his speed. And man, oh man, that big play to start off the game, it put Washington on their back foot. I'll tell you that right now. And put them on their back foot to start with because they knew that, holy smokes, these boys from Michigan, they sure can run fast. They sure can block hard. Oh,
regardless of whether you think this was luck or skill, anything, the fact that Dono has that type of speed to hit the home run touchdowns was killer. Killer for us to start that first quarter like that, to score 2 long touchdown runs, Michigan way, whether it was clean or not, he still hit those holes like we want him to do, right? That's what we ask him to do. That's what we want him to do. Whether he did it by accident or whatever, that's his job. He did it. And I'm so thankful that that kind of redemptive art is here in this game, because that's also what this Michigan victory was about, was that the naysayers, let all naysayers know.
This guy smokes.
So I'm ecstatic as
No, you're
as
not.
a Michigan football fanatic, I'm ecstatic that we got 2 touchdowns. I'm happy for Dono that after this year that he got 2 touchdowns. I am happy. I'm ecstatic for him. I'm ecstatic for our team because you're right. It did set a tone for us. All I'm saying is I don't trust Dono next year to be our lead. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
With all that's been not listen, all that's been said by the rest of the team, with how great of a teammate he's been this season, the type of attitude he's shown this season, not getting down on himself, not getting down on the team, not sitting and pouting like some people claim that he was. Okay, this is from other teammates that have watched Donovan all season. They attest to his character and his attitude, okay, being top notch all season. And to see that pay off in this game in that way, it just added that little extra, I shouldn't say little, it added that extra level of happiness. Not just that he scored the touchdown, but he overcame all the obstacles this season to score those touchdowns. And you got to admit, all right, first touchdown, fine. You want to say he was lucky and he bounced off the offensive lineman, fine. But that second touchdown, you must admit, he mid the right move, he made the right cut, and he hit the hole. Okay, might want to say, hey, it was a huge blah 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 blah. But in the split second, sure, it's easy to see in slow-mo. But in the split second, with the pressure of a national championship hanging on your shoulders, to do it in real time, and then to run for that touchdown. First touchdown, he went this way. Second touchdown, he went that way. First touchdown, he came to Big Red, Mr. Squarehead, and the rest of the crew. And then on the second touchdown, he went over to the other corner with Dan the Man and producer Jay Bizzle. Producer Jay Bizzle, when he kept coming closer and closer to you in the end zone, how did you feel? Let us know.
Let me just tell you, the first touchdown, the second touchdown, both they're on the opposite side of our side because we're on the Washington end zone side, and they're coming towards us. I'm looking up at the screen. I'm like trying to figure out what's going on, and then all of a sudden I see him getting closer and closer. I'm like, wait, what do I do? So then I had to look down on the field, and by the time I looked down on the field, he's already like running into the end zone, and I'm screaming my head off, pointing at him. And listen, again, this is the nature of our team 144 this year. This is not perfection. No one said perfection. No, this is almost kind of like this is like the Remember the Titans part where like he demands perfection and stuff like that, but it's like a grit win. It's a grit, like squeeze the energy out of, like suffocating win, so much so that at the end it was almost a little anticlimactic that we were just clobbering them at the end because we just took everything out of Washington. Penix was injured. Like this offensive line was getting decimated. This Joe Moore scam of an offensive line getting decimated and everything like that. We limited their running back, even though he was injured and tried to play. We still toppled him over. Everything that we did proved that this team was all about grit. It was about perseverance. It was about overcoming the odds. This wasn't about a perfection type of game.
Well, we got to admit, it turned out to kind of be that way. You know what I mean? All right, before we jump all the way ahead to the end. So first quarter, bunch of fireworks, et cetera. But then by the second quarter, it became a grind them out kind of slugfest where both offenses kind of
second quarter in typical JJ fashion, he stalls multiple drives because he just I don't know. I can't remember who I told. I don't know if it was you, Big Reg, or whoever, James, who was sitting to my right. I was like, JJ looks like he's playing scared. I mean, those third down throws out to the flat, he literally hiked the ball, stared at the receiver, and regardless of whether the receiver was covered or not, he just threw the ball as hard as he could. In typical JJ fashion, he stalls multiple drives for us. And in the second quarter, and by halftime, we're up by what, 7 or something? And I mean, I think we all were saying at halftime, we should be blowing this game out already because we dominated that first half. And again, despite JJ's average performance, we were still up at halftime.
Well, I think the only regret that I have from the second quarter was the fact that we went for it on 4th and 3 at like the 40, whatever it was, because that set them up for the short field to go and get their final touchdown. Or yeah, that was
Yeah.
their final touchdown.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Only touchdown.
Yeah, the only touchdown in the game. You know, so I think that if we had punted it there and gave them that long field to go down, I don't think they would have gotten that touchdown. Probably might have held them to like a field goal or something.
He threw that ball late too.
Yeah.
He was watching him too hard. But there was a couple of errors by our wide receivers too. Cornelius dropped a wide open crossing route that he should have had for 30 plus yards. That would have changed the tone of the game. So it's not just all on JJ. He did have some jitters. But in the end, like again, he made what we needed to do. I thought it was crucial. I mean, if we're gonna jump to it, him running QB keeper up the middle for that essential first down when we were like pinned in our corner, and then he ran for like 30 plus yards or whatever. That's the heart of a champion. He's not the number one quarterback NFL wise, but he's our number one quarterback for winning a national championship. Didn't turn the ball over.
So he was shook. Like first half, I think he was scattered. They actually showed footage of like his therapist talking to him on the sideline and just kind of like trying to regather himself. So he was a little off kilter. But I think he played well enough. He made the right throws, the right reads toward the end of the game, but he did have a QBR of like 53, 54. So he didn't play a good game, but I don't think he cost us the game, right? Which is what you want. Because our running game was working anyway.
Yeah.
So let's run the ball. No need for JJ to kind of like, be our hero. And yeah, he did miss some throws, but I also think the second quarter, like there were opportunities for Washington. Remember that one blown coverage, wide open touchdown? Oh my gosh! If they hit that, and then they get the ball to start the second half, right?
Yeah.
It would have been a lot tighter than it should have been. We should have been at least up 2 touchdowns, given how the first half went.
No, but again, it was. I think if we didn't go for it on that 4th down, and we make them drive the field, we still hold them to a field goal versus a touchdown. Just by the way the defense was playing. Even if we give up that one big 4th and 7, Mrs. Squarehead and I looked at each other and said, "Ooh, that's one. That's one. That's one where we definitely got a little lucky." But I think there was like maybe 3 more of those plays where we said, "Ooh, that could have been something for Washington." But that was the thing. It never Washington never got in a position where they could execute those plays. Versus Michigan, we executed those plays.
Why do you think Harbaugh decided to go on 4th and 3 on our side of the field? I mean, our defense was playing. We were shutting them down. Why not kick it and pin them back?
No, actually, I think we're on their 40-something.
Yeah, we're on their.
Well, I mean, basically midfield.
Yeah, yeah. I think because he knew that the defense was going to play well, and the defense that drive almost held them, despite all that, to a field goal. Except it came down to I think we got 2 pass interferences that drive, right?
I think one for sure.
Well, one to get them to down by the goal line, and then one that was declined because they
because it was a touchdown. Yeah.
And I think he wanted to kind of like step on the throat because we were like, we had 2 Donald runs. We were up 14-3. We get a first down there, score a touchdown, 21-3. I mean, that's like, that's they're really reeling at that point. So
I honestly thought that, like running that kind of play with Rowan Wilson going out, yeah, okay. But like, the money plays we had against Alabama on 4th down, like even like bully ball. We never tried bully ball at all during that whole game. So I thought that was a more opportune moment to be able to do that. But yeah, I think they had full trust in the defense, and they knew that they could be able to elicit their will on it. But you know, you can't always convert fourth downs. You can't, like,
Yeah, but
statistically, it's not even on there.
the thing that was crazy with that game was I think at a certain point, Michigan was like 0 for 6 or something like that on third
Right.
downs.
Third down,
We were not converting any third downs.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
once the second
both
quarter.
teams third down conversion rates were horrible.
Because
Yeah.
of JJ couldn't hit passes on third down. Let's just face it.
And that's basically the only time they asked him to throw the ball too.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, I mean, I also don't think that they called the right plays. Like, I don't know why they ditched all the Alabama plays. That could have been, you know, the Roman Wilson behind the line, go, you know, filter out. Blake Corum, I don't know. Did he get a catch? I don't even know. Like, they
But
threw
I
it
don't think
in the game, but they didn't throw it
Yeah.
in here.
I mean, I think they probably kept the offense very vanilla because we could run on them, and then they trusted the defense, right, to kind of to dominate. I think they probably thought, like, after the first couple of drives, like, hey, we could, you know, the D line is dominating their O line. And even though we
Yeah.
got to Penix only once, we only had one sack. Like, we made it very uncomfortable for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like his clock was sped up. Like, he wasn't making the throws that he typically makes. Even the outs, the 5 and outs, the flare outs, like, he wasn't hitting those.
No.
But there was a crucial drop. I don't know which quarter it was. It was a crucial drop on a third down by their running back
Yeah.
coming
a
out. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, if they got that, they would have been driving.
Number 8 or something like that. It wasn't even their starter. But if I'm looking at the stats right here, only 10 receptions total, 10 receptions for Michigan, 38 rushes.
Oh,
I mean, there was a specific game plan that they were gonna play some bully ball here.
I mean, basically, it was a repeat of what we did to them a couple seasons ago when they came to the big house. I think we ran for over 300 yards that day, and we did it again for the national championship game. But man, oh man, just as crazy high the first quarter was, by the second quarter and the third quarter, you know, the energy was kind of going down. Let's not kid ourselves. The energy in the stadium for the fans was getting a little bit frustrated and restless. Even after that Will Johnson interception to start the second half.
Yeah.
I didn't see it live because I was outside, you know, trying to buy a beer to get back in. Then all of a sudden we heard the cheers. And we went running back. It was like, wait a minute, what happened? What happened? And then we went running back in. It was me, James, and Chuck. We went running back in because we were meeting with people during halftime. It was the halftime meetup. We ran back and we said, what happened? What happened? And they said, Will Johnson just got an INT. So we missed that one. But after that INT, instead of cashing it in for a touchdown, all we could manage was a field goal. You know, so it just continued that kind of offensive malaise that set in from the second quarter into the third quarter. It was like first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and it was just oh man.
But going back to the INT,
yeah,
I mean, shout out to Mason Graham for that pushing through the middle, right, and knocking the offensive center to the ankle of Penix. So he kind of, like, you know, had an off balance throw, threw a little duck, and then Will Johnson intercepted it. So, I mean, again, like, even though it wasn't a sack, like, we were getting to him all night.
The first play of the second half where they're supposed to score a touchdown, we intercept the ball and we have it in their territory. I mean, that I think was an emotional killer that really helped us because, yeah, it was flat. We weren't doing very much. We're only up by 7. They have the ball coming out of the second half. We needed something. And again, I've stressed this enough multiple times this season. Defense wins championships. I've said it once. I've said it a million times. You can quote me on this. I told you defense would win us this championship.
Come on, man. You as if you came up with that phrase. Come on, man. Defense wins championships. That's straight from you.
No, but I'm the one who told you this team would be about defense and this team would win because of the defense. Y'all trying to look for offensive help? Nah, bro.
Oh, come on, man. I've been saying JJ's above average at best quarterback. And, you know, we've been saying it all year. Our defense has carried us. Look at the stats.
Speaking of the defense. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, giving up less than what on average. Like we only gave up one or two games of double digits. I mean, it was all defense this season.
Yeah. Speaking of the defense, I thought the keys were the pressure on the quarterback, but the other thing that was the key was the ability to tackle in open space. There was so many times when Sanistrill or Will Johnson or
Keon
Wallace,
Sad.
Keon Sapp,
Keon Sapp did miss one tackle that he should have
Just
got.
one
It was
tackle.
a
Come
critical
on.
one. It was a critical one. Third down.
One. It was one.
Right.
This
Just
guy.
saying, you know.
He went high. Should have went low.
I mean, that was in the first. It was in the first half too, right? That was in the first half.
First half.
It was like one of his first plays. He went
Hey, everyone's accountable. We got to keep people accountable.
Holy smokes!
God.
This guy's like Asian tiger dad over here.
I know,
Holy-
seriously. It's not about perfection. It's about how you end that game.
But he made up for it in a lot of different plays. Break the flat passes. He played a solid game.
The whole entire defense played a superb game. A superb game. You're holding Washington, one of the most high-powered offenses, to 13 points. Come on. But man, oh man, the tackling though, the tackling for me. Oh my gosh, there were so many instances where we looked up and we said, if he doesn't make that tackle, that dude is gone. But almost every single time when they had to make a tackle, they made the tackle. I remember there was that I think it was like 3rd and 5. Sanders, they threw it out, a little flare out. They could have got the first down, but Sanders, no, not on my watch. Sanders, not on my watch. Wrapped them up and broke them down.
And there was another one, Will Johnson on one of the receivers, all by himself.
Yeah.
Throws it 3rd down. If he doesn't make that tackle, he's gone.
Oh,
yeah, he's gone.
Right? He's
on
gone.
The right side. Right?
On the right side,
yeah.
He's gone. Now, like, I have flashbacks of Turner missing that tackle last year.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Right? That's the difference. Right? This year, Will Johnson makes that tackle. Turner doesn't make that tackle.
Yeah, against TCU. You're saying with Quentin Johnson, that one tackle.
Yes.
We burned across. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because
Page taking on offensive lineman, undercutting him, tackling the running back Johnson before he scores for a touchdown. That was like he's 100 pounds lighter and he still makes that tackle. That's all heart, man. That's all heart.
Yeah.
And all the false starts that Washington offensive line is because of the D line. We put them behind the sticks because they were like jittery. They were jittery, they were like right there. Oh, false start.
Bro,
they try to hide it.
That wasn't the defensive line. That was the crowd, baby. That was the crowd.
Oh, stop it. It wasn't us. It wasn't us.
Yeah, I gotta tell you though. I gotta tell you about the crowd noise. I don't know about you, Big Reg, but that Washington crowd was pretty loud.
Oh, very loud.
It was so loud, and I gotta admit, at some point, I couldn't hear the Michigan crowd when Michigan was supposed to be cheering.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounded so one-sided in terms of the loudness of the crowd. And I don't know if that's because we were just in Husky territory or Husky seating, but I gotta tell you, man, that those Husky fans, they were loud.
Yeah,
I was on your side, but obviously I was a little bit away from you guys, and I could barely hear the Michigan band. I could barely hear the Michigan side. They're all behind me and to the side of me, and I still couldn't hear them.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you guys. I mean, theoretically, we should be able to hear, because we're on the opposite. We should be able to hear the Michigan crowd basically screaming toward us.
Yeah, exactly.
But like you guys are saying, even though the sound is traveling away from us, the Washington crowd, man, my hats off to them. They were really, really involved almost the entire game, because like we were saying, first quarter, yes, we started off really hot, but by the second quarter and third quarter, it was still a one possession game for a lot of the game, which made it so compelling to watch. Like, it would have been something if like Michigan was up by 3 touchdowns, in the second and the third quarter, you know what I mean? It loses a little bit of juice. But man, oh man, that thing stayed juicy the entire way. The entire way.
You could tell they didn't, even when we were up by like 2 touchdowns and like 5 minutes left, they didn't give up because they have, you know, Penix Jr. So they knew that one or two throws they can, and then they had that deep pass that they hit towards the end of the game. So just one or two of those, and they knew they were right back in it. The only time they actually gave up and started like kind of filtering out was when we went up by 21.
Yeah.
That last touchdown was a backbreaker, and they just knew. I mean, this is it. But yeah, they were in it like 90% of the game.
Yeah.
And they would have been still in it if because they hit another deep pass, but they got called for the hold.
Holding, yeah.
Which was a little, you know what? I gotta say, watching it on TV, watching all the replays, it's rare that we come out on the favorable side of the whistle, but I feel like we caught a few breaks this game, more so than I remember other big games.
Mhm.
But that's the way it rolls. That's the way it rolls.
I
But
heard it.
but if they hit that big pass, I mean, you know, they're in business.
Yeah.
I
They're in
heard
business.
non-stop in the airport because I'm traveling west, so all the Husky fans are going west. They were not happy with some of those non-called holds.
No, well, live in the stadium, when they hit that pass, you were like, oh man.
Yeah.
But then when you saw the flag on the field, like, oh, maybe we got hope. Because like I said, second and third quarter, the whole way through, it was still tight.
Mhm.
And then when you saw that big play happen, you go, ooh, is this when Penix and company start heating up? But when that flag went down, we were like, thank goodness. And me
Yeah.
and Mrs. Square looked at each other and said, that's three. That's three.
Yeah. We were counting. We were keeping count.
We keep got the whole game. We're like,
but
oh, these are some bullets we're dodging.
I think the refs didn't call it much, like both sides. Like it seemed like there was an egregious hold, I think, against Kenneth Grant that like the guy like basically just held him with one hand so that Kenneth Grant would stay away from Penix, but they didn't call that. But other than that, I mean, I thought it just seemed typical. Like even Michigan, Alabama, I think there was a bunch of holds there. They never called any of them either. So they just kind of let them play on there. But yeah, that defensive line, I mean, kudos to all those guys who ran hard. Braden McGregor getting double teamed almost every freaking play. Kenneth Grant getting double teamed. Mason Graham getting double teamed and still getting through. Even Josiah Stewart, we're like waiting for him to kind of get to that point where he breaks out too. Just nonstop pressure. Michael Barrett, Junior Colson, just like covering all over the field, trying to stop the running back, who still, despite like an injured ankle, was still running hard. And I couldn't believe it. I thought he was done, but he kept coming back out and kept running. So I was like, I don't know what the heck is going on with that, but man, just to watch that kind of defense, it reminded me of 97. It reminded me of 97. We didn't have a great offense either. We didn't have a great offense in 97. Greasy, Ty Streets couldn't hold on to the ball.
All right, take it easy.
No need to disparage anybody in the 97 team. Come on, JB.
Come on.
We're all one big happy family. 97.
I was there too. But 90, it had a similar feel. 97, Rose Bowl, Pasadena, playing Washington State. Ironic, that's another Washington team. 2023, playing Washington. Both vaunted offenses, both had vaunted wide receiver core that they were bragging all about before the game. I mean, our defense was so locked into the disrespect that they were getting. Analysts across the board, more than 50% of them picking Washington to win. It was a major sign of disrespect to our team and our defense, especially that people were just like, no, like Washington offense, they're just going to overcome them. They won't be able to stop them. I was like, man, who have they played? Who have they played? I told you last time, Texas defense is crap.
This guy. All right, take it.
They ran into a brick wall.
Hey, so let me ask this, because I didn't get to see the replay on this, but JC from Sunnyside probably saw it on TV. There was I think it was a punt where Samaj was out deep, and then all of a sudden he started running off to the sideline.
Yeah.
Remember that play?
Yeah.
And the whole time I was like, why is he doing that? Because I was counting, and we had only had 11 players on the field.
I saw Samaj. I don't know. Sometimes you just can't make sense of what he does. Just can't make sense of what he does.
Oh, you
Like-
mean Samaj was the 12th guy?
Yeah, because everybody in the stands, because again, we were in the Washington section. Everybody in the Washington section was crying, bloody murder that there were 12 men on the field.
Oh,
Because
they
they saw
didn't mention
Samaj
any play.
running off
Yeah.
the
I remember.
field. And we were like, wait a minute, were there 12 men? But
So-
I guess there wasn't because they didn't call any they didn't throw the flag.
They didn't mention that at all. But Samaj, like, I don't know why he can't like just field a punt. And then if he's gonna like let the ball drop, like get away from it. Why are you running toward the ball? The dude is, I don't know.
Yeah,
something-
he runs towards the ball, pointing at it, saying, "Get away, get away."
Yeah. Oh. Just run up there and field it so it doesn't like bounce another 20 yards.
Hey, rip to Thaw, who's transferring out of the program. You're still a champion. We still.
He made that heady play. He stayed calm, cool, and collected after that fumble. Held on to that ball at the half-yard line because we wouldn't be here talking about a national championship if you let that ball go in the end zone.
So, hey, hope you have a good career somewhere else. We appreciate you for saving us.
Oh my gosh. It's like the guy that starts the fire and then puts the fire out. You know what I'm saying? That's what Dodd did on that play. Holy smokes.
But the defense, I gotta agree with producer JB. I rarely agree with him, but I gotta agree. The defense, and just so proud of these boys. Especially, I gotta say, Kenneth Grant. The guy just blossomed this year. From that Penn State rundown of the linebacker, of the running back. And then from then on, I just see Kenneth Grant in the backfield all the time. Like the way he blew up that center to get that sack. Oh my goodness. Like he just blew him up. Just blew him up. So
that was embarrassing for that center because he almost like flipped. He pushed him so hard, he almost did a barrel roll. You know what I mean? The center almost rolled away. I was like, holy smokes.
Joe Moore award-winning center.
It was crazy. It was crazy. Kenneth Grant. Kudos to Kenneth Grant, definitely.
But I mean, I think playing Alabama and those type of athletes and how big they are, and then playing Washington, I mean, it must have been like night and day trying to go up against these guys in the trenches. And I gotta say, the linebackers for Washington, just watching the game, oh my gosh. Like JB, I think you could have ran for like 80 yards.
Wow.
Stop
You
it.
know?
Wow.
Helmet on their defensive line. Their defensive line was decent, but their linebackers, oh my gosh, atrocious. Like you could have done a little wiggle and maybe got another 5-6 yards.
Wow.
Stop it. That's just disrespectful, man.
I never got to play running back on my class team.
Oh. Well,
That was
This guy. How you gonna disrespect the Pac-12 champs? They were undefeated, man. Come on. This guy. Holy smokes. Claiming that producer JB is gonna run for 80 on him. You're nuts.
I didn't say 100. I didn't say 100. I couldn't go 100.
No, I said 80. You said 80, didn't you?
Yeah, I said
80. This guy's crazy.
Hey, let's Big Reg, come on. We can't continue without talking about the one leg of our parlay, or no, was that a prop bet where we called the defensive touchdown? And I think that one seriously, I almost passed out and fell over the railing because you and I, the whole play, as soon as he caught that ball, you and I were hugging and jumping and we're like, go. And then when he got tackled, man, I thought I was gonna just, oh man, that was like the worst.
I keep watching that play over and over and over and over again. And why does he cut back to the left?
Oh no, I don't know.
Why? Because you cut back to the right, you got Penix after you. He's not going to tackle you. He's got 2 broken ribs. Why are you cutting back to the left?
Dude, if you watch that play also, number 37 Washington, it's a Kenneth Grant moment. He ran all the way back from where
He made that tackle.
he
Yeah.
made the tackle.
Yeah,
So
and you know what? Braden McGregor had a shot to stop him.
Yeah,
After
he didn't
knocked
make that block.
receiver. What was that?
He should have made that block.
Yeah, so he knocked the receiver on his Hunding, and then all of a sudden, like he just stops and he starts celebrating instead of blocking the other number 37.
like
Oh
kudos
my
to
gosh.
37. He ran all the way back to tackle that guy. He never gave up on the play, so kudos to him. But yeah, if he just ran more right
Ugh.
with his blocker, he could have made it in.
We're
And
of
that was
course
he was coming right at you, producer.
I know he was coming right at you.
He was coming
Right
to
at
that corner.
You're right.
We're of course talking about the fourth quarter interception by Mike Sanistro that basically ended the game. That was the game sealer right there. And man, oh my gosh, this close to that prop bet hitting. But
I
again,
can't remember if that was right before I got on television. You remember they called, I think, timeout, and then they went for it fourth, and then that's when he threw the interception. So I think that was before I was on television, which I didn't know anyways, and I was already exhausted. So by the time he came to my side of the end zone, I was literally like, I was faint too. I was like, I don't know what do you want me to do anymore? Like I just yelling and screaming and just hugging people around me, and it was crazy. Props up to my boy Ravi, his fiance Jen, who are sitting to my left-hand side, and all the people behind me who are giving me high fives. We all got on television together, baby. This is a team effort. Team.
These are just more random people that you've met.
Yes, the ones who are sitting right next to me.
Where was Travis, man? Travis, he bailed on you this game, huh?
Travis couldn't make it. He has to take care of his newborn. Hey, kudos to Travis out there. Had fun at the Rose Bowl. We took it down. You were all right. You said as soon as we win the Rose Bowl, we're gonna win this national championship.
this guy, did you tell him to subscribe at least? Huh?
I should have.
Holy
Hey,
smokes.
let me just say something. Because of my travel woes, I want to give a shout out to YC. You know who you are, from Daehanmingu, who flew literally halfway around the world and got stuck in Washington, D.C. and couldn't make the game.
Oh my God.
This cat bought a ticket worth thousands of dollars, came just for the game. It's not like, oh, I plan to be here for 3 weeks. We're going to be in the game, in the Natty. He literally came just for this game, halfway around the world, and couldn't make it to the game. Shout out to YC from Daehanmingu, man. You know who you are, man. We missed you there.
I felt so bad when I heard he couldn't make it. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!"
Wow.
Oh, I felt so bad for him.
Wow.
But he was the second furthest person that traveled that day. Or I'm sorry, he would have been the first, the most distance traveled in one day to make the game. The most distance traveled, of course, to make the game on game day was our boy from the ensign Cho from Hawaii. He flew from Hawaii.
Oh yeah,
the day of the game. Okay, crazy. Somehow he made it on time despite all the travel craziness. Man, oh man.
He came the furthest and was the one earliest there. He
That's
there
what
earliest.
it was. It's crazy. Traveling to the game, for those who are wondering, insane because of all the weather. To the game and then back home from the game. Holy smokes. Literally, Squarehead and Nameless Guest, they were like Frodo and Samwise Gamgee trying to get to the Ring of Mordor. I'm like, what is going on? There were so many setbacks, so many challenges. Didn't one
But
time
we
get stuck behind a train that broke down on the tracks?
Oh man, the GPS was telling us to go over these train tracks, and so when we made the right turn to go, there was a train literally on the train tracks and it broke down.
It must have been so bad that
Oh man,
Nameless forgot what kind of car he had. He forgot what kind of
Oh
car
yeah,
he had.
on the way back. On the way back in the parking lot, we literally walked right by his car. He's like, "Where's my car?" Dude,
Oh my
It's
gosh.
utter ridiculousness.
Hey,
Despite
look, we
all
can't
those
we
trials and
can't go all show without shouting out maybe, I mean, one of the greatest Michigan men of all time, Blake Corum.
yes, I was about to
Blake
get to him.
Blake the
quarter.
Great. Mm.
Fourth quarter. First quarter, Donald starts the fireworks, lights him up, boom. Second quarter, third quarter, hits a little bit of a lull. But fourth quarter, man, oh man. You got to seal the deal. You got to seal the deal. Sanistrell on defense, Blake Corum on offense. What more can you say?
I mean, another redemptive arc story of a man who was hobbled at the end of last season when we were supposed to go far and he couldn't. And then this year stays healthy the whole season. The team's behind him. He's the leader. He's the captain coming into this game. He knows what he needs to do. And to be honest, like, hey, kudos to him for allowing Donovan that opportunity as well. I mean, he can't control when he goes in or out, but he let Dono have that moment and he took his own moment later on. Had a chance to get really close to him, didn't get the autograph or the selfie with him as close as I wanted to, but I actually met his parents. Kudos to his parents. They're so nice. They're willing to talk to anyone. We just kind of like were in the hotel area lobby, and then I honestly didn't know it was the mom there, but I could recognize his dad. And then we started talking to him, and they're just like, yeah, we're so proud of your son. He's, a true Michigan man. They're like, thank you very much. He like worked so hard, all that stuff. They're just so nice. And Blake Corum will go down as one of the greatest Michigan men ever. Honestly, probably second to Charles Woodson, but right up there. Top two, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely on the Mount Rushmore of the greatest Michigan man of all time, I would say. I don't know about talent, but just overall, like what he brought, culture, because everyone says the culture of the team 144, everyone played for each other, but you need not only coaches to do that, but you need like leaders, right? Senior leaders to do that. And I think Blake Corum was probably at the center. Him and Mikey Sanister, those two were at the center of like, hey, this is about the team, ultra laser focused, despite everything that happened this year, the suspensions, the shenanigans about cheating, this and that. Like Blake was ultra focused, and he said, "Hey, we got business to do," and then he finished it, man. Just ultra proud of Blake, the great, and also the impact that he made on the community of Ann Arbor. Just ultra giving, just a good guy, good character guy. Like that's the guy. Hey, that's the guy. I don't know about Samaj, but that's the guy.
Come on, this guy. This guy. Can we just give the kudos to Blake without,
Why you gotta dig on a freshman? You gotta dig on a freshman.
It's because he wants to, it says he wants to bring him down.
No.
Bring him down.
Just pull it down. Just
Pull it down. Yeah.
pull it down.
It's the same thing when JC from Sunnyside wouldn't let me play on his basketball team freshman year because he was just like, "Nah, I don't need you."
Wow. What is this?
Wow. Just a random memory.
Just a little bitterness, just seething deeply.
this guy.
Deep seated memory just came out.
Well, what happened? You walked into CCRB and he's asked who's got next, and JC.
Yeah.
Sorry. I already have 5.
Oh,
We already
JC,
got
how
5.
many you got? I said, JC, how many you got? He's got 4. I need 1. And then I was like, yo, I'm ready. He's like, nah. And he pointed someone else.
Come on, man. Come on, producer
Wow.
JP.
It's all right. It's all right.
Oh,
I already had a forward. I needed a ball handler. I needed a ball handler.
I grew stronger.
Come on, man. You got hey, but in all honesty, CCRB, hey, you got to earn you got to earn it. You know what I mean? You got to show people you can play. But anyway, wholeheartedly agree.
Another nice play, fourth quarter, big time grab by Colston Loveland. Almost nice catch and run. Big time grab. That was full speed, off the fingertips.
That was a big time throw from JJ too. Like that was a tight window.
was a tight window, but it was a little high. But
Come on,
catchable.
man. I
Catchable.
had to bite my tongue. I had to bite my tongue.
Catchable.
That's all he needs to do. It just needs to be there. Catch it.
Listen. I'll just put it this way. We would have hit on 2 of our 3 parlays if only there was 30 more yards passing. I'll just put it that way. 30 more yards passing, we would have made a couple $100 each. But whatever. Hey,
Cornelius Johnson dropping the ball.
I'll give up the couple $100 for a natty any day of the week. Any day of the week. Okay? I'm just super happy.
That was JJ McCarthy to Colston Lumlin for 41 yards.
Great time play.
Flipped the field. It flipped the field.
Yeah. No, that was a big time catch and run by Colston. And the other thing that Colston did a lot better this game versus the game versus Alabama, his blocking. His blocking was so much better, especially on those long runs by Dono. If you look downfield, Colston Loveland is leading the blocking downfield. He did so much better blocking this game versus the Rose Bowl. Paid dividends. So Colston, I raise my glass to you for not giving up, not sulking, but getting better game to game, even when between the Rose Bowl and the national championship.
Easier to block when the linebackers are 185 pounds. They're like 180.
Come on, man.
Bring it down. Bring it down.
Pull it down. Pull it down.
This guy. All right, fine. You gonna explain to us what this is? Come on. You said you were gonna tell us.
I can't put it into words. But when Harbaugh did it during the press conference, I mean, I was like, I know exactly what the feeling is. Just want pull it down, I just can't put it into words. It's just one of those things that you just feel. Just pull it down. Just pull it down.
What a steal. You said you were gonna tell us. And now that I give you the opportunity to tell us, you literally say, I can't put it into words. Oh God.
It just you gotta open your hand, just pull it down. It's just so great. That was great. When he did it, I was like, oh my gosh. It could look so weird and so quirky, but I got it. Just pull it down. Oh.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Anyhow, so we had one comment from the Rose Bowl YouTube video, Bubba Planka, who said "Go Blue." So Bubba,
go blue, indeed, brother.
Thank you for supporting and saying "Go Blue" on there.
Do we know Bubba Planka?
I have no idea who that gentleman is or person is. No idea.
New person that's on there, but thank you for that. Thank you for the season, for all the people who have commented on there and viewed our craziness and silliness. We want to hear from you. What was the best moment you had during this national championship game? What did you appreciate most about it? Also, quick shout out to all the people that were out there in the stands. We recognize so many people out there and all the people who are cheering loud for our Michigan Wolverines to be like, there was a sigh of just absolute relief in that stadium after we're done. All the boys came down to our section down there in 122. We watched from the sideline and all the things that are happening, took some pics. Hopefully they show up on this video here. And then it's the merchandise run now. We're trying to get some merch. We're trying to get some merch, some gold chains and everything to be able.
Yo, man, the merch vultures are out, man. You can get anything with Michigan National Championship on it at this point. Anything. You name it, it'll have Michigan National Champions on it.
The biggest alumni market. The biggest alumni market.
They're literally framing newspaper covers like from the Detroit News and selling those for like $50.
One of those.
Newspaper.
Dude, the Michigan Daily that nobody ever picks up for free,
exactly.
For free. They're selling those that are framed now for like hundreds of dollars.
Yep.
Oh goodness. I
need to contact somebody over at the, at an Angel Hall and say, hey, go down to Angel Hall and pick up a couple copies for your boy Big Reg.
Hey, so here's one of my beefs from this experience. It has nothing to do with Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Dude, this national championship is hosted and run by what? The NCAA, NRG Stadium, whatever it is.
Yeah.
How do people, or the CFP, how do people spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to go to this thing, and they don't give you a single piece of swag, man? That not even a lanyard, not even like a drawstring bag. And you're charging what? I don't even know how much the beer was, Reg, that you got with that commemorative cup. But you're charging like 20 bucks for a draft beer so you can get some plastic cup. And worse, other people are spending thousands of dollars and you can't even hand out a lanyard that says 2024 championship. Come on, CFP, NCAA, whoever you are. Weak sauce, man. Weak sauce. Come on, man.
No, I have to wholeheartedly agree with you on that point. CFP, you got to do better, man. NCAA Final Four, when we went there, we got an entire, Final Four commemorative bag, that I still use to this day. You know what I mean? But yeah, the CFP, they didn't give you anything. Like whenever I go to Twice concerts, there's all sorts of swag, giveaways, posters, things for the fans to, take home and collect. But man, oh man, CFP, you're giving us nothing. You're making us pay for everything, even after we've given you thousands, literally thousands upon thousands of dollars. Because the cheapest ticket to get in, day of the game, was still in the $1,000 region. Okay.
Yeah, I mean they had people trying to pick up like tinsel and stuff that I don't know, the confetti that they were shooting out. I mean, the CFP could not afford to hand out whatever it is that they make in China for 25 cents a pop.
Wow.
Come on, man. Those sweatshops need work. They could have made those and given them out.
Yeah, I had to go literally picking garbage off the ground, like all the confetti that fell down. It was all little pieces of yellow and white pieces of paper that said 2024 CFP on them. I had to go around on the ground collecting those, just so I had something to bring home that said CFP on it to make a memory.
I left my souvenir cup in the stand, so I just lost $20 on that.
Oh no, I like held on to mine like it was the ring of power. I was like Gollum saying my precious. I was like this, holding on to it. Because I was like, I just paid $20 for this thing. I'm not leaving it here. It was crazy.
Oh man, it is a cash cow. It is a cash cow. Anyone's willing to pay. You weren't there, but at the convention center, obviously there's a lot of events that they had. It was free. You could go, but they were giving away stuff a little bit there, just because the commercialism on there. But yeah, like buying gear is really weird because CFP owns that right. And so anything that's stamped CFP, college football playoff, it's different. Obviously they didn't know which 4 teams were going to be there. So when they made this CFP material, it just says CFP 2024 Houston. That's all it says. And
you
then
know
you
what's
have to wait.
weird though? All the CFP says CFP 2024, but then all the stuff that says national championship says 2023.
Yeah. So that's the weird thing about it. Right?
It's crazy.
This is why college athletics is getting to be to a point where it's like, dude, the money is making more of a difference than anything else.
Forget it. We can't make sense of it. But one thing, hey, listen, if you guys want to join in on our latest scheme to make money, Squarehead and Nameless Guest came up with a plan to enter the lottery to buy all the tickets ahead of time at face value and then resell them on the secondary market for at least twice the value. So if you want to get in on that operation with us, send us an email. We'll send you all the details.
This is not a new scheme. This is what happens.
Come on, man.
That's like
You
defense
wouldn't
wins
believe.
championships. That's like defense wins championships.
Squarehead and Nameless Guest pitched this idea to me like it was the next iteration of Google and Apple. They're like, hey, listen, we have a guaranteed way to double our money.
Oh, man,
like,
this
really?
guy exaggerating.
And these guys go, we'll enter the lottery to buy the tickets at face value and then resell them on the secondary market. I was like, what are we talking about here?
Well, one, if you enter the lottery, there's a
Oh.
high chance you're only gonna get nosebleeds anyways, so you wouldn't have made any money.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
Anywho,
What a run.
this national, despite all those things, listen, all these things get wrapped up. The cockamamie business ideas, the swag, the travel hardships, difficulties, all that gets wrapped into this glorious memory of a Michigan Wolverines national championship. And it is a memory that we will cherish for the rest of our lives. For the rest of our lives. Whether or not we repeat next year or not, this championship right here, Team 144, the special players that made up the team, Blake Corum, Mike Sanistril, Michael Barrett, these guys have such special, unique stories. You know, we mentioned it before. Guys like Michael Barrett, the struggles that he went through. Guys like Mike Sanistril, who was recruited as a wide receiver, and you know, and went on to switch and become one of the most impactful defensive players of all time in Michigan. Those are the kind of players. Trevor Keegan, you know what I mean? All these different things that this team went through. Team 144, just wrapped up when you look at it in totality and what they've been able to accomplish. These memories will be cherished by Michigan Wolverines for the rest of their lives.
I mean, all the emotion I felt when the clock hit 0, Samaj did a backflip. You know, you saw that backflip. I thought back to the muffed punt at Michigan State. Michigan State. Whoa, you're right, Big Reg. Big Reg, you okay? I just said muffed. Whoa.
Scott, I gotta bring that up now.
I think back to how close we were against Ohio State in 2016, where stop JT. All those close calls. And then getting close 2 years ago. We were supposed to be in the finals last year, but we've come up short against TCU because Blake Corum gets hurt. And then this year, we have the number 2 ranked team all season. We're hit with adversity after adversity after adversity after adversity after adversity. Suspending Harbaugh for the first 3 games, then the last 3 games in the most crucial stretch against Penn State, Maryland, and Ohio State. But it didn't phase this team, not one bit. And yeah, you could say the Georgia team from 2 years ago was better. You could say that some of the Alabama teams were more talented and more physical and faster. But I don't think there's a team that I can recall that overcame this much adversity. Everyone says, "Oh, we came up against adversity," but no, not like this. Not like this all year. And the fact that they stayed ultra focused, committed to the business at hand, and then they came through, despite everything that they went through, I would say it's the single biggest team accomplishment, not only in college football, but in sports. I don't know if there's another team that overcame this much adversity to go 15-0, to go undefeated, and to become champions at the end of the season. So 144, man, for the rest of my life. Oh.
So this brings up a great point that JC brings up. This team will be impossible to forget. I do remember on this show that some people were guaranteeing that they were going to get a tattoo. 15-0, just like Coach Harbs. I don't know who it was on this show, but this is the call out that I'm posing for all our fans out there who said these people on this show, they said that they would get a tattoo of Team 144, 15-0, perfect season, national championships. Let's go.
I'm just trying to figure out what that tattoo will be. Right now, I'm thinking just Team 144, tastefully in block letters, tastefully, 15-0. And I don't know what to put. Champions or natty or what? I don't know what to put on there so far. The other option, if I go just hog wild, is just on the back. Just bet, finished business.
Oh my gosh.
The entire schedule with all
Yo,
the
calm
scores on
down,
the
calm
back.
down, calm
Back,
down.
and then at the end, it'll just say
Oh, no.
national champions.
No, don't show us.
Oh, no.
Oh, you,
Stand
dude,
with
So
that.
it's two options.
there's a lot of real estate though.
So it's one that's tasteful right here, kind of small but tasteful, or there's just a full back tattoo, Maori warrior style. You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
Yakuza style, just the whole back, the whole schedule, all the scores, national champion on the back. I don't know yet. I haven't decided.
Yo, what's the point of getting a tattoo if no one's gonna ever see it?
No, you'll see it if I have it on my.
Exactly, but if you
arm.
put on your entire back, who's gonna see that?
I'll walk around naked. I'll walk
Oh
around without
my
a shirt on.
gosh,
You know what I'm
come
saying?
on.
You know what I'm saying? This guy. Every time I go to the beach, I pull it off. You'll see. You'll see.
Oh my gosh.
So
Whoever else wants to join me in the tattoo, let me know.
fans out there, if you have good fan art, send it to this link, send it to us. Like, we'd love to see some of the fan work out there of this team 144, 15-0, that people need to get tattoos of. That could be the next show, getting the tattoo.
Hey, that'll be a special vlog thing later on. But man, oh man, I just gotta. My final thought's just gonna be Blake Corum, Mikey Sandstrom, Michael Barrett. Those three guys, honestly, are gonna hold a special place in my heart. Just like Marcus Ray and Charles Woodson hold a special place in my heart. Those three guys, man, they went through so much trials and tribulations to do what they did. And man, oh man, when you talk about the Mount Rushmore of Michigan men, I'm going to put them up there. I'm going to put them up there, for me personally. For you guys, for anyone else that's watching, you might have your own personal Mount Rushmore, and that's fine. But for my personal Mount Rushmore of Michigan men, it's Charles Woodson, Desmond Howard, because I remember as a little kid watching Desmond Howard and Elvis Gerbach, that I think it was 4th-and-1 versus Notre Dame. And both Schembechler went for it. And Elvis Gerbach threw it to Desmond Howard, and he caught that touchdown. I was like, holy smokes. These dudes are crazy. And they pulled it off. So Desmond Howard, Charles Woodson, Blake Corum, Michael Barrett, Mike Sandestro. That's my personal right now. Because, man, oh, man, those guys, for what they've done, what they've overcome, and what they've accomplished as Michigan men, hold a special place in my heart. So I raise my glass to them. Oh, I'm getting emotional.
I'm getting nostalgic, emotional, like just the Rich Rod, Brady Hoke years. It was just tough, man. It was tough. Stephen Threet as our starting QB. Oh my gosh, it was some tough years. But hey, man, we've chipped away. Harbaugh coming in, all the hate that he got in the COVID years. We got to shout out like some of the players that helped us get here. Aiden Hutchinson, he never won the national championship, but he helped us get here. Chase Winovich, like those players that helped us break through and get us to this point.
Jabril Peppers, don't forget him.
Jabril.
Oh,
Cade McNamara.
Cade. Listen, Cade. Where's my glass of Cade?
Yeah. So
I just want to say that I feel vindicated because this entire hour and a half I think we mentioned JJ's name like 4 times.
This guy.
And it just proves this guy is an average, above average quarterback at best. And when we think about this natty, we're going to think about this natty just like we think about Brian Greasy back in 97. Nobody talks about him. Nobody talks about Brian Greasy, just like JJ. JJ will fade in our memory as if, oh, wait, who was that quarterback who played average? Because we had a dominating defense and a great running back. That's how we won the natty. It wasn't JJ. It wasn't JJ. And I just feel so vindicated, and I feel so happy that he is the player I said he would be. Nothing against him. I hope he goes to the NFL. I hope he gets drafted at least in the top 6 rounds and gets a good backup role, because he's got a nice smile and good locks. But hey, good luck to you, JJ. Let's get a real quarterback in here next year.
Oh, come on, man. We're talking about like Mount Rushmore, Michigan men. We're getting nostalgic here. No need to bring up the 53, 54 QBR rating.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on now. Like, even though Mount Rushmore for Big Reg has 5 heads and not 4, but hey, that's okay.
It's my Rushmore. It's my Rushmore. I've got a bigger Rushmore, okay? Some Rushmores are only this big. My Rushmore is this big, okay? That's what I'm saying. I got a big Rushmore, baby. Come on.
But I guess to spin on the last note, positive note, this for us and our year, our generation is different than I think pretty much all the other classes that came after us, especially like 2000 and onwards, because they still got a taste a little bit of the 97 aftermath. We're still good, still decent, even up to 2006, right? We were still ranked number 2. There's a very good chance we could have gone to the finals then, but they don't know about the 97 team, right? They don't know about Coach Lloyd Carr, coaching us through that year. That was not a flashy year either. We did not win games distinctively, but our defense and our basically functional offense got us to where we needed to be. That wasn't a CFP type of environment, so we had to just play the people in front of us, and we kept winning. We kept winning. People claim this is a shared title in 97. We shared it with Nebraska, but everyone knows so Nebraska shouldn't have won some of those games either, but whatever. That was a shared. This distinctively was us dominating every single team in front of us. I said it to Bagman before. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. We had to beat Alabama. People were nervous about that. We did that. Even OSU. I mean, I think we all knew that we were going to have a good chance of winning that. And then for a lot of Michigan fans, younger Michigan fans out there, you didn't know what we could accomplish. And I'm sorry, there was a lot of just almost wasted time, growing pains that we had to go through. But this is how much sweeter this victory is, because we had to go through so much to get here. And for some other teams, I'm not going to mention who, you might be caught with a little bit of illegal recruiting and stuff like that, but out there. But this team was developed. This team was cultivated. This team was grown. This team was embattled. This team was envisioned. This team was brought together. This team stayed together to get us to this national championship. So that's why it means so much, because in this day and age, when people leave, they go to different programs, they don't get what they want, they go away. Those who stay will be champions. That saying has never been more true for this Team 144 than ever before. Those who stay will be champions, because they are part of the program, they're part of the family, they're part of the team, and we got there.
Sorry. I'm drunk at this point. I've gone through at least 3 of these right now, celebrating the Michigan Wolverines, Team 144. What you've all said is true, except for what Squarehead has says. So take him out. what producer JB and JC from Sunnyside and myself have said about Team 144. Oh man, it just yeah. No need to reiterate. Just if you're a Michigan fan, just spend the entire rest of the year until the football season starts again, enjoying this team, remembering this team, because this team was special in so many different ways. The young men that made up this team, the coaches that made up this team were special in so many different ways. Reminisce on them, cherish them, and man, oh man, look back on this with a smile on your face. With a smile on your face. Because Team 144 got the job done. Business finished. Michigan Wolverines, national champions. Go Blue.
Go blue.
Go blue.